What is up, YouTube? This is your boy Ligo, one half of Endure, and I am here for the first one-on-one in 2017, and I'm doing a one-on-one with the Contrarian Basterd. Good night. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. This,
Uh, Go ahead.
like I said, when you try to keep me down, I just become stronger. That's my motto.
Okay, so basically you hit me up because you want to have a one-on-one talk about Nintendo and basically the Nintendo Switch and the gimmicks, and if the gimmicks are dooming Nintendo.
Yeah, because I've been in social media these past days, and I see a recurring trend going on like 2 years that says that the gimmicks are what's killing Nintendo, and some people are even saying that the Wii U's failure is due because Nintendo is quote unquote forcing gimmicks on you, and they like to use examples like Star Fox Zero, like
Yeah. Oh,
li-
right.
li- as a prime example of Nintendo forcing gimmicks on you. And I wanted to clear that. I want to do a one-on-one because I want to clear that misconception about gimmicks being cancerous to Nintendo. Because to be honest, gimmicks is in one part what made Nintendo in the first place.
Yep, that is
Did
true.
didn't the NES sold because it was marketed as a kiss toy with Rob?
Yes, it did.
And
That's why it saved the gaming industry. Yes, it did.
because isn't Rob a quote unquote gimmick?
Well, let's get something straight here, so people could understand where we're coming from. Because a lot of people is getting. One thing I learned that about this is, give me a second, is that let's establish what let's establish what gimmick is, because people got it as making it as a gimmick is a get it as a negative connotation, which it really isn't. So this is the definition from. This is basically Google. This is Google's definition. Basically, a trick or device intended to attract the attention of the public or in business. If you want to go down to Webster's Merriam Dictionary, a gimmick, a medical first definition is a mechanical device or secretly dishonest controlling gambling apparatus. Well, we don't know is that's one, but let's go with a noun. Okay, an important feature that is not intermediately apparent. Basically,
So
a catchphrase.
So, in other words, the gimmick is like the hook in which you use to sell something. Like
Basic.
use the main attraction, like the take the Wii for example. The motion controls were like the main attraction in which Nintendo wanted to sell it to the people. Like you can you can do stuff with those controllers you could never done before, and that was its gimmick. That is what sold the Wii in the first place. That
Yes.
is the example of what a gimmick truly is. But I see people use gimmicks in a way that they say if it does not control traditionally, then it's a gimmick.
Well, let's put it this way. They also said that look, the reason PlayStation 2 sold because of its gimmick, which was the DVD player.
Yeah, the DVD player and the
The DVD
PlayStation and
The DVD player was the gimmick. The PlayStation 3 was the Blu-ray DVD player. The PlayStation 1 was CD, and it had more RAM. Everything has its gimmick. The problem is, one thing I learned about the gaming industry, not even gaming, it's American problem. We take a lot of words and we turn it from we don't use the word as literal, as you said, as no, just been talking to you for a second before we came on air. You learn you speak Spanish. You're in a different language, so you know that words that in other countries the word literally means the word, but in America the word literally means oxymoron or double entendre, which basically means is
yeah.
oxymoron is basically like original copy, meaning that how can you have an original copy? That's an oxymoron. Or a double entendre. Bad when you get two double meaning. Bad. Oh, bad means the first original meaning of bad means something not good, but people will say, oh, bad means good. So you're giving it a double meaning, a double entendre, and that's the
Yeah.
problem with the language. So that's what's going on in the game, and they gave the word gimmick a negative connotation, which it is not, because every console that comes out has a gimmick, bar none. Graphics is what these guys are talking about now, and that is one of the biggest gimmicks they have right now, which is the graphics. Graphics is a gimmick. It's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just what it is, because that's the only thing. Most gamers who say Nintendo doesn't have gimmicks always say, oh, you don't have the graphics. Well, that's the gimmick that you use, that you're looking for.
Oh yeah, that's another point of vision for these morons. The whole the Switch is underpowered crap. But that's
Yeah.
another topic for another day.
Well,
You know,
it don't have to be another topic. Look, it's just there's a thing I said. Nintendo went a different way from Sony and Microsoft. The one thing I've said many times, and you were never you can't explain because it looked like sounded like the way you're talking. You're not in that same camp. I don't understand why we need to have 3 of the consoles with the same power. It makes no sense to me. I don't get it.
I noticed that there's this desire to make to normalize Nintendo like a movement that they are so obsessed with normalizing Nintendo. Like Nintendo needs to do a console that is the exact same shit as the PlayStation 4.
Well, here's the thing, though. See, what Nintendo learned quick. Well, let's put it this way. Like, again, you know how the GameCube was constructed, right? Or have you? Do you know? You do not know. I will tell you. I'm just want to make sure.
Yeah, the GameCube was constructed with third parties in mind.
Yes, that's so. Yes, you got that. So yes, they wanted. They came to Nintendo and asked the Yamauchi after what happened with the 64. Yamauchi asked third parties, "What do you guys want in the next home console? Since basically you guys parted from us, and the 64 did not sell better than the PlayStation 1." Yes. So they went and asked them. They said we want a graphic power. Okay, we're gonna give you graphic power. We want a simple controller. We gave them a simple controller. We want a media that it can't be copyrighted. They gave them a copyrighted. They gave them a way that they can't copyright the material, because back in the 6th generation, and I have these as proof. I bought games for PlayStation 2 and the Dreamcast. And my Dreamcast, in one of my videos, I show that in the Dreamcast is basically a regular DVD that I caught that person, and when I was in college, because I didn't have money then, sold me Capcom vs. SNK 2, sold me it, and it's just a black disc, whatever, for $10. Now I went out and bought the game after the fact, because I don't like doing that to people. And people work hard on the games. I want to give them their money. I don't want to rip them off. So I bought the Japanese version of that game just to give them the money. But they had a problem with copyright, with piracy back then. So Nintendo came up with the disc that is 3.5 size, and it burns outside in instead of inside out. So it was hard to copy.
And you know, the funny thing about it is that the GameCube is practically what everyone wants Nintendo to be. The GameCube is the most standard Nintendo console ever made. It had no huge innovations at the time. It was mostly graphical update from the 64. It is probably one of the only times Nintendo was graphically superior to the competition.
Mhm.
Outside of the 64, it has a standard controller, and yet with all that, why didn't people bought the system in the first place?
Because of popularity. That's
Because
what it was. Because the gimmick on the PlayStation side was too strong. They wanted DVD player, and Nintendo did not put a DVD player in the GameCube. And at that time, Sony had owned the market with DVD players, so it makes sense for them to do that. So they had a gimmick, because most of the games back then, like I said, didn't It wasn't like you said. It was a graphic like Resident Evil. Resident Evil 4 had more content than the original Resident Evil on the GameCube, but it was not. It didn't sound. The sound was not superior. The visual was not superior, and the frame rate was not. Those three things and was bad for that game. But and you could go to list down of many stuff too, but because of PlayStation's gimmick working with a DVD player, that's why a lot of people went that way because Capcom was supposed to release 5 games for everybody knows about the Capcom 5, and one of the 5 games, one got canceled, so one of the 5 games that was supposed to be there was Okami, but Okami went straight to PlayStation 2, and the saddest thing about it is it failed on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that game was infamous for failing on being a really, really, really good game that flopped so badly, one of the best-selling consoles of all time.
Yep.
And I love Okami. That game was a masterpiece. But people sometimes don't give creativity a chance. And
Yep.
that's the same part where I am in this podcast anyway, because I see this lack of imagination in this gaming in this gaming community, and I hate when people use the word standard, like standard is a good thing, because if something though we kind of revitalize the gaming sphere that was getting quite stale by that time, and people don't give that console the credit it's due. Because let's be honest, how many times are you going to have the same PlayStation controller before you get bored?
Well, the sad thing about it is not even that. I have no problem if the PlayStation controller is comfortable. Is that they have features in the controller and none of the developers have used it.
Because for one, I love when the console when a console drastically changes over time, because it keeps the game fresh.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
I love what the Wii U to Switch transition, and to see how the gamepad idea evolved more than just to be used as playing near your TV. And
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing that, and I've been one of the constant complainers about the PlayStation becoming stale over the years. I see PlayStation is mostly just look at the PlayStation 4. It's mostly a minuscule graphical update from the PS3. Let's be honest. This generation's graphics are not that different from the old one.
Well, you remember the only console in the 8th generation that could do 1080p 60 frames per second is the Wii. That's the only console I have a game that does that.
And that is something that's something I always been against. Seeing most gaming YouTuber channels proclaim themselves as gamers, yet they want to kill what made gaming good in the first place. That is variety.
Yeah.
And I see that it just makes me sick to a point, because we kind of, if you play last gen, you could see that lack of variety taking place. There's a lot of genres that skipped the last generation. Hell, if you own a PS2 and a PS4 and you hate shooters, you're in for a rough time, because 80% of that console is shooters.
Yep.
It may be more, but I sometimes go to gaming stores, and I even make me and my friend make fun that you can see, like, oh look, shooter sports, oh, a unique title, shooter sports, and the
And,
list goes on and on.
and you know what? There's nothing wrong with having those games, but again, because when the market is so stagnant like that, and you don't have no variety, because if you have no different varieties for people out there to come into the game, because like you said, the Wii revitalized the gaming industry. The Wii came out. It showed them do certain stuff that nobody saw was coming. It had what worked. The one thing that worked for the Wii. People saying about. I would say this. I'll get this mixed up. The one thing that made the Wii so popular, other than the motion control, other than that, they had a packing game Wii Sport and everybody saw it and saw whatever. It was the free advertisement that we got.
Yeah.
We got a tough. Oprah had it. Ellen had it. It was on the Today Show, the morning show, showing old people playing bowling or whatever. It was free advertisement that got into everybody's homes and saw it and said, "Wow, that looks cool. That's something I would like to try." And that's what sold. Now, a good amount of the people who bought a Wii bought it for that, and maybe Wii Sports Resorts and Wii Fit and stuff like that. They didn't buy a lot of games really, but it's still that console got. By the end of the cycle life, it got up to 100. It got up to 110 million consoles sold, but most of its library was freaking ridiculous. As Mario Kart Wii sold 37 million at the time before it became 37 now. But at the time, sold sold that much millions, and it's just ridiculous. And that's what the biggest game, the biggest selling SKU was that game last generation.
And the Wii had a lot of good titles between No More Heroes 1 and 2. You got the Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn. I love that game. Smash Brothers Brawl, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. You got a really, really damn good library. Hell, Donkey Kong even made a return in the Wii, and Little Mac,
Yep.
and the Metroid. Admit it, if you play Metroid Primes with motion controls, you don't want to go back to the GameCube ones.
Well, yep, that is true. That is true.
Those motion controls were sweet for a first-person shooter.
Well, that's why for me, for my PC, I have a game. Well, it's not a game PC. It technically kind of is from what it is, but it's not a game PC. But I bought me there's a controller app. There's a controller that I got from Amazon that is an IR sensor that you could put on a USB plug into your computer, and you could Bluetooth your controllers, your Xbox One, your PlayStation 4, your Wii remote, and I've used that. That's why if I'm playing any shooters on my PC, that's what I use.
And I love that the Switch brought back the motion controls, because if they do get strong third-party support, imagine what shooters can imagine playing a shooters with the new improved Switch motion controllers, the HD Rumble. That has to be sweet, at least for me.
Well, go ahead.
Because it's just the pointing at the screen increases the accuracy of your shot so much. Hell, Resident Evil 4 Wii, for me alone, is the definitive version of Resident Evil 4, because you got that sweet pointing that the other ones lack. I mean, the targeting system in the PS2 was bad compared to the Wii version. So I don't understand why people say motion controls are cancer. When used right, motion controls can enhance the gameplay in a way a normal control can never do. I mean, take Skyward Sword, for example. You feel like you actually are Link. A feat that has never been done in Zelda before. And people want the Skyward Sword remake. As I saw on Amiiver's comment, they say the only way to fix Skyward Sword is to remake it and take all the motion controls away and the gimmicks. But by doing that, you just have a normal garden variety Zelda game. So why would you want that in the first place? I get it, motion controls are not for everyone, but
the thing about it is they never force you to. Okay, the Zelda Skyward Sword, yes, they did. I'm not going to deny that. But majority of the games, okay, it got translated over to the Wii U. A lot of people say, man, they're forcing the gamepad onto you. I want to say two things first. One, historically, there's not many add-ons or accessories sold after the fact that takes off to be successful. So you have to so you have to put it in the initial offering to become more palatable. Now, the sad thing about that is the move didn't sell that well. The Kinect didn't sell that well. So what happened was they redid the Kinect for the Xbox One, but gamers bitched about it so much that they wanted to, because the move was $100 more. The Kinect, I mean, the Kinect wanted to Kinect down from the $500 to $400 to be, so they could be compatible to PlayStation and whatever. That they basically forced Microsoft to abandon something that could have been added something great to gaming, because basically the Joy-Con with the IR sensor is basically like a mini Kinect, and it could have been something that, like I said, and if that's the case, and Nintendo's adapting their idea and turning it to something else, the Kinect could have been awesome. Hell, not even only the Kinect, the Smart Glass that they were talking about, which they abandoned as well too.
And the sad thing about that is the Kinect was one of the biggest gimmicks from the Xbox One. And it's kind of sad they took it out so early.
Well, because gamers were arguing because it's $500, it's $100 for the Kinect. We don't want to take it out. We don't want to connect, whatever. So they like, if you go, there's a video. I think Brownie, I know he's in the chat right now. Brownie Kakashi, he shared a video from this other guy, I think Bit, whatever it is, and you have Jim Sterling, Richard Review, Boogie, which I gotta say something about that. I can't help it now. I gotta say this now. Sorry, I gotta say this now. So, in that video, Brownie and all those guys, Brownie Takashi, you shared a video with the guy, and he took a clip of Boogie, Jim Sterling, and Rich of Review Tech saying, "God damn Nintendo with the motion controls, with the motion controls." I'm like, bitch, motion controls, out of all three of you sons of bitches, y'all need some movement and need to lose some fucking weight. That's why, you lazy bastards. I just noticed that. I was like, all three of these bastards are overweight bastards, and they control about movement. Get up and lose weight, feel great, you bastards.
And the sad part is one of the founding fathers of the anti-gimmicks thing. Have you seen Game Grumps? Ego Raptor?
No, I've not. I like you said, I've tried my best to not stay from certain people unless I know what's going on. But no, I'm not.
But I think one of the guys that started this whole anti-gimmick thing, Ego Raptor, he was practically destroying Skyward Sword in a review, saying, "Why would I want to play a Zelda game that makes me move to play it?" And seeing how fat that guy is just like, you could use to lose some pounds, dude.
Including Boogie as hell. I mean, Boogie, brother. I mean, I'm happy that you found life and everything. Your life story is pretty cool to me. But lose weight, feel great, dude. Seriously. And you arguing about moving around. That's your problem. Including, I mean, all these guys are fat guys. That's the funny part about it. I just noticed that from the video. So. Hey, Brownie, thank you. I might take a clip from that and use that against some of these bastards. But it's just motion control. Like I said, motion control is not a bad thing. I mean, you have, and the thing about it, you have the Pro Controller. They gave you the Pro Controller.
And one game that's getting shitted really badly because of the gimmicks thing, 1-2 Switch and ARMS.
No, okay, and everybody knows it.
Yeah,
One two switch. The argument of people making 1-2 switch makes more sense, and I understand it. I know Nintendo said it that they want to keep the IP wrong. I think they should have took the initial hit on that one. As a business person, I'm talking as now, not as a gamer. As a business person, they should have took the hit of 1-2 switch and packed it into the console like they did with Wii, like Nintendo Land, and with Wii Sports. Wii Sports.
yeah, I actually agree with you on that one.
Yeah, and
But
that's what most people's arguments are, because it's more of a tech demo showing you what you can do and how you could do it and everything like that. So that's what most people's arguments come from that. Now, the other
but
people,
arms is
arms, yeah, yeah.
I saw a forum post where they just tearing arms apart. What the hell? Nintendo didn't learn from Skyward Sword that we don't want these stupid ass gimmicks.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
But you
Why?
see, the thing that killed me is as we went back into the history thing. If it wasn't for Nintendo's gimmicks, the controllers in the PlayStation and the Xbox One, basically those controllers, will never, ever, ever would have been, those controllers would never be what it was if it wasn't for Nintendo mainlining and streamlining their controllers.
Yeah,
Because what's become a standard now? Every controller has a D-pad, well, except for the Switch. They switched it around now again, but they have a D-pad controller with the Controller Pro. Every controller has a D-pad. Every controller has 4 buttons. Every controller has shoulder buttons. Every controller has an analog stick. Every controller is wireless. Every controller. I mean, if it wasn't for them doing all this stuff first, those other controllers would never had do that at all.
yeah, but I noticed that most of these people are kind of disconnected. They had like convenient amnesia in gaming history that they only remember the stuff that's convenient for them.
Yes,
And
because
they
like you're right about that. Because just like you said, like Jim saying, all those guys are older gamers. They should know the history, but no, they don't. They just want. They're basically like those YouTubers are in it for the money. Money first, then facts later. Now I give Jim Study more of a break than anything because he agrees with me more that the industry is dying. But his opinions on games, because he's like a PC guy and he just says something like stuff, is where he lost me. So it's like, okay, Richard Review Tech, he's just basically a jerk and whatever. And I'm still gonna kill it. I'm still got that joke. Hey, Angry Joe, please sue Nintendo, you arrogant bastard. Oh God, I want him to do that so I laugh my ass off when he's not that good.
you know the whole I can't take Angry Joe seriously because he was never a Nintendo fan to begin with. He just started talking about Nintendo now because it's convenient to talk crap about them.
Well, it's not only call. Oh, look. As I said before, oh yeah, I didn't. I think I told you this. Maybe I said this before. Look, Angry Joe. Look, the biggest game of 2017 is what game?
The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
And he's trying to attach his name to that so he could do a review and get millions of views off it and make money. That's why he's doing that. If better though, because he wasn't doing that last year with all the other games that came out.
Like you said, it's all for the money. Ka-ching.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't care if it's like I said. I have no problem with person. I don't knock a person's hustle. The problem I have with it though is that the arrogance of these people talking about like I said, in my day job, I'm an architect. I gotta go and get a permit to design a house, to get the house drawings, basically some of the plans so they could start building. I have to get all that stuff ready. So these guys, so it's a job. The YouTube is a job, and things change. So you got to figure out a way how to work around certain things, and there are laws and rules. And again, it's for the money, but it's just like they wanted to do the simplest, easiest job. Now I know sometimes recording that stuff is not simply easy. I mean, Angry Joe does green screen and buys costumes and all that stuff. But still, though, just to be a dick about it like that and be entitled because you could stay home and play games and that's your job, while everybody else got to go someplace to do some kind of work and stuff like that. And then you're you're gonna sue somebody over using their material. That how the hell? That's basically saying like I'm a thief. The thief is suing Best Buy for stealing their TV from them.
That is just as retarded as that guy that did the fake Switch thing.
Oh, yeah, Erica.
The things people will do just to get noticed.
Just to get noticed. And you spent all that money to go get you a 3D printout of a Nintendo Switch just so you could it's ridiculous. It's super ridiculous. That's why I exposed him on my video. I'm like, that is so why are you doing that? And in the video, of course, you think of course the people on his chat will be smart enough to say something, to say, okay, wow, you got a Switch, man. So what it feels like, what it does, whatever. He didn't answer none of those questions then because I'm like, y'all stupid.
You want to know something? You want to know something? I had a real life friend that actually legitimately believed Erika had the Switch, and he called me to my phone, all hype, saying, "Dude, you need to watch Erika now. He has a fucking Switch." And I told him, but if that were true, what the hell hasn't his video been taken off like now? And why hasn't he be sued? I mean, he's showing something that even Nintendo hasn't shown properly. I mean, how the fuck do people believe all this garbage?
Well, that's the sad part about it. The sad part about it, YouTubers comes people's television. So they look at their favorite show like Angry. That's why Angry Joe has over 2 million subs. So people would think they go to Joe and look at him as basically like he's the Kim Kardashian or a Rob Lowe, all sorts of nigga. No, I don't understand that. Just like he's a star, so they believe everything he said, which is weird. I never had that affinity for no celebrity like that, except for like I say I would go a little geek out if I ever met Shigeru Miyamoto in real life. I ain't gonna lie about that. I've never met him in real life, but I've met Koji Kondo and Numa and all that. But I would love to meet Shigeru Miyamoto because that would be awesome. But but at least they don't pull the wool over my eyes and tell me lies.
I'm a huge fan of Shigeru Miyamoto, so if I ever see him, I'll probably geek out like a girl.
Nope, I should have said it too.
Even through there has been like I see like 4 forum movements to fire his ass. I think Shigeru Miyamoto is still one of the best game developers ever to ever grace the medium. I don't know why people want his ass fired so much.
Because they think that he don't have no that he's lost his touch, his spark. Well, hell, remember they basically wanted fired Iwata before he passed away, and then when he passed away, all these fake YouTubers came out like, "Oh, he's such a great guy." I'm like, just 2 months ago, I got you on video saying Iwata should get away, fire him because he don't know what he's talking about. He's ruining Nintendo.
I remember people from the Fire Iwata movement doing sappy videos of his death. Is like two weeks ago you were asking the man to lose his livelihood, and now you're acting like a hypocrite.
Yep. And here's the sad part about it. They did that just for again YouTube money. Because you hated him, you know that a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, Nintendo's whippy boy," whatever. But when he passed away, you use his name again just to get clicks to say, "Okay, Iwata was a cool dude. He did this, he did that." I'm like, because think about it. On my channel, it's funny. Nobody knows about Genyu Takeda Nobody, even the people in the media, did not even know about Guinea Takeda. I've said that Guinea Takeda before anybody else said it. And I'm a small child before anybody said, they're like, who's this Guinea Takeda? Who's this guy? Whatever. Oh, he might be the guy to become head of Nintendo. I'm like, what?
Actually, I didn't know his name before you mentioned it. Actually, so you
Well,
do
no,
have a
because
point.
well, yeah, nobody has ever mentioned his name. Not IGN, not Jim Starlin, not Visual Review, not none of these YouTubers. They
Okay,
don't
but,
know.
but,
None of
but,
them big YouTubers said that.
but liar, can you expect intelligent programming from IGN?
Well, no, because remember you can't spell English without IGN.
IGN for me is like the Fox News equivalent of the gaming industry.
There's many other industries that's just as bad as that. But
For,
I'm just saying that it is GameStop is just as bad, Polygon is just as bad. But I'm just saying that the only reason is that nobody brought up those people that are like, who's this Guinea Takeda person? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm the only person who brought it up. And then it's sad how people don't know about the history. And right now, everybody's talking about like, oh, he is or like oh no, the Switch is this or whatever. All these game plans came from one guy, which was the late great Gunpei Yokoi, and
go,
and everybody don't know about it because he basically he had tons of ideas. He just never the technology wasn't there for his ideas to catch up with until now.
believe me, Junpei Yoko is a living legend of among handheld software because he practically all handheld system practically derived from him.
Yep. Well, basically, the handhelds came from him. The Switch, the Wii U the Wii came from him. The Wii U came from him. The Switch came from him because he had all those schematics already. He had all those stuff ready to go. Just like I said, technology wasn't there for him like that. And
And,
then and then he had an apprentice, which was basically his apprentice was Kenny Takeda.
And you know something, Miyamoto in certain ways gets a lot of flack because of the gimmicks thing, because a lot of people accuse Miyamoto of forcing gimmicks into games because Miyamoto has been solely blamed for Star Fox Zero's failure from forcing the controls. And every time Miyamoto does a game, like Miyamoto love to use the motion controls in new and creative ways. People always say Miyamoto is a cancer killing Nintendo with gimmicks.
I don't know how he's killing Nintendo with gimmicks because again, the one IP that stunned everybody out of the eighth generation was Splatoon. That's a gimmick. He has a gimmick in there, and it took over. It's the only shooter ever in Japan's history to sell over 1 million.
Oh, yeah, I can testify to that. I seen the Japanese Miiverse. It has a lot of Splatoon content.
Yep. Well, again, I saw it. Unlike most of these YouTubers, I travel around the place. I saw it in real life when I went in Japan in 2015.
And I always wonder who started with this whole anti-gimmick viewpoint in the first place.
Basically, what happened, the whole gimmick, because it started. This is where it really started, and people. What happened was it started in the seventh gen with the Wii. The Wii brought in a casual market that nobody foreseen, and then most of the games were basically shovelware in the Wii. So everybody wanted to play. Everybody looked at the Wii as this grandma, grandpa. They're messing up our gaming system. You got to be hardcore, blood, school, whatever. So whatever, that kind of situation. So there were social gamers, and these gamers did not like being looked at. Oh, you buying a Wii? Oh, you buying a kiddie console? And then of course they're offended, and they're like, oh man, I'm not a Nintendo fan. I don't want a kiddie console. You see, I bought me a PlayStation 4. Got these games and blah blah blah. Like they pushed that envelope to do that stupidity. So when they did that, now it became uncool to like anything that was part of casual gaming, which that word itself is another word that people have twisted the meaning of. Everybody who ever played video game is a casual and a hardcore gamer. Every one of us.
But I've seen people misuse the word casual to, like, if a game is kind of not difficult, like easy, and people say, "Oh, that is casual kitty shit."
Well, yeah, but okay, this casual kitty shit. And well, let's say this. There's Bobby's Playhouse, Bobby's Ranch. You know, the doll Bobby's Ranch. I know for a fact my coworker or my co-host, I should say, she has a daughter, 10 years old. She has put over 100 hours in that game for a year. She's hardcore on that game because she loves it. It might be casual for somebody else, but she's hardcore in it. Now I played Black Ops. I played Call of Duty Black Ops. I like Call of Duty to a degree. I don't like it all the way, but I'm a casual gamer in that. But you give me more Monster Demon Blade, you give me Puzzles and Dragons, you give me Fire Emblem, Metroid, I'm hardcore. So I don't get that tag of saying I'm hardcore, I'm casual, because you can be a casual. Every one of us who play the game, if you play more than 2 games, you're hardcore and a casual, because you're gonna fall in one of those categories.
Yeah, because a game that has been demonized for being casual, and it kind of still is hated to this day, is Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Yep, but
Be-
because
because
people
it
can't
was
control them.
easy. Because he was easy and you can't die, and people love to bring, when you bring Kirby Epic Yarn, this game is casual trash.
Yep.
And I never understood why, if a game is easy, is labeled as a casual. Isn't casual gaming just that you play games for, you don't play games compulsively, you just play for like two
Well,
hours.
okay, let's break it down for you. Okay, let's break it down again. You have Call of Duty. Now, Call of Duty, nothing against that, but it's a corridor shooter majority of the times.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is lean out, shoot a certain amount of people. Once you clear it, you move on to the next choke point where you gotta shoot again. That's what Call of Duty is. Nothing wrong with that, but again, that's a simple breakdown. Same to Mario. Mario is a simple breakdown too. Jump, platform, get to the end of the stage with whatever you can. But if you play Champions Road, it's not as easy as just jump and just jump and avoid stuff. You got to jump, trick, do certain things, what you learn in the game to get there. And that's, again, each game breakdown to its essence is casual, really, but it's how the game is executed. That's why one of the reasons I also say there's that there also is people say, "Well, oh man, this is repetitious." Every game is repetitious. Every single one of them is repetitious. It's the execution that makes it different.
Yeah, that's an argument people like to throw into Dynasty Warrior like games, that supposedly they are extremely repetitious. And I don't know. I practically play more than 300 hours in Hyrule Warriors, and I'm still having fun with that game. So I don't see the problem.
Well, no, well, yeah, and I play. My crack of last year was Hyrule Warriors. I put too much daggone hours in that game. I'm not gone to the point where I surpassed Awakening yet, but that is the game that I've played the most last year. Now, the reason I like it, because that hack and slash game is like the modern beat 'em up. I grew up like I said, back in the 90s, baby, when you had Street of Rage, Final Fight, Marvel, Avengers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Marvel,
All those are,
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
yeah, like those are beat 'em ups. Just so you go around, couple punches, beat somebody, start over, go around, whatever punches, you know. So that's what that is to me. So those were repetitions back then, but they sold a ton because it was something fun. So I don't get, like I said, to me, that's what those games are. They gotta have a nice little hook, like the Fire Emblem or Warrior Warriors, or maybe like Dragon Quest with the Dragon Quest Heroes. But if you have a nice little hook and pay attention to it, then yeah, then I'll buy it and then I'll have fun. And that's, like I said, my modern beat 'em up is that game.
And actually, there's really few beat 'em up these days. So I appreciate that the Warriors title kind of bring that old school genre into modern times. So I don't see a problem why whining about it. I mean, you don't like it, well, then don't
Don't buy
play
it.
it. Don't
Yeah,
play it.
yeah, yeah. Yep.
So some people get so fucking offended from for a game existence. You will think the game caused him cancer or something.
Well, it's not that it causing cancer again. It's just something they want to. They want. They always said Nintendo. You know, they always say Nintendo's gonna. No, Nintendo's dying, as you just said. As you said, as Nintendo's dying, Nintendo's failing, whatever. Now, did the Wii U sold what Nintendo wanted? Hell no, it didn't. Did it took away money from Nintendo? Hell no. It made profits, which is the most important part. It wasn't. It didn't sell the millions it was because too bad the guy's not around too much. He's not around no more. Well, his channel. He used to be a part of a group on Google, and he had a what do you call it? I might go find a video of him saying what it is because he had a poll back in 2014, and he was asking how much you think the Wii U gonna sell. It's gonna sell more than the GameCube, the same as the GameCube, less than the GameCube. And I told him it'll be sold less than the GameCube because of the Nelson report. When the Nelson report came out, and the Nelson report came out again at the end of next year, which this year, not this year, sorry, last year, which I got to do a video about that. It has not changed. People play PlayStation and Xbox One for the brand name and for the graphics. People who play Wii U they played it for fun. That was the number one topic that was on the for when they researched it.
And most people I seen that own the Xbox One and PS4 mostly just play for Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty.
Well,
Uh,
they pay for third parties, which is
the,
again. I don't have no problem with that. You pay for third parties, but then like I say, you guys using it like okay. Look, one of the arguments when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, you know, one of the major arguments was for that game.
what?
Of course, it was graphics. People were asking. People was really arguing that the grass in PlayStation 4 looks more livelier than the grass in Xbox One. The
Oh yeah.
grass.
No, there were people that were having freaking orgasms about the snakes realistic beer in Metal Gear Solid's Guns of the Patriots. And I mean, people from IGN, they were giving, they were praising their graphics because they look over realistic.
They praised the graphics, but
And,
the sad part about it, they praised the graphics, but they did not call out the other bull crap with it. Which one, the whole camp, the whole boot camp gaming review, which was crap. One, two, the whole okay, this is a game that looks visually stunning, as they said, but you have microtransactions, and one of the microtransactions is you have to pay real money to get game insurance, which is ridiculous. And
what?
the third part that was ridiculous about it is the game at the time the game was a financial flop because the game have sold over $6 million and did over 6 million copies and did not make his money back.
You got me there with that insurance thing. What the hell?
Well, no, that's not the worst thing. Called Need for Speed. EA released a Need for Speed that you have to pay real life money for virtual gas.
what the what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not lying with you. That's what it did. Yep.
What the hell? What?
Gamers thought a lot of these gamers say they would never. They hate DLC. They hate microtransaction. They hate Call of Duty. They hate yearly franchise. Blah blah blah. But they still go out and buy the crap. That's where one of my tags came up of. Speak with your wallet. If you don't want these guys to continue the bad practices, don't buy the crap.
And,
That's it.
and, pe- And people love to say Nintendo are greedy monsters because of Fire Emblem Face having to pay for the other side of the story. Yeah, they don't complain about Horse
Well,
Arm.
you know what? If they play the game, if they play the game, the story is again the story is on its own. You don't need to buy Birthright or Revelations. Conquest has its own story, and you can end it at that.
Yeah, but I see a lot of anti-Fire Emblem Fates journals on Deviant are saying the game is an example that Nintendo is a money-hungry anti-consumer company. Who the hell charges to play another side of the story? And yet, these are the same people that don't complain
Wait, wait.
about.
Yeah, go ahead. You might say something
Uh,
I'm gonna agree with. Go ahead.
and this is are the same kind of people that don't complain about insurance, about DLC insurance and horse armor.
Or you gotta pay money to get a true ending of some games.
Oh yes, I remember the Final Fantasy 13 2 bullshit that
And as Azura's Wrath, and also
yeah,
Devil just came out. Dead Rising 4.
yeah. And then people, because people love to say, there's a new trend that people say that Nintendo is anti-consumer because they're removing fan games. They removed our Pokemon fan game name, Pokemon Uranium, and the Metroid 2 remake. And now there's a lot of Nintendo is an anti-consumer company. Yet these people don't talk about how much EA is screwing them with stupid DLC.
Yeah, because the thing about it is, you buy Madden, or FIFA, and something happens between the season when you bought it that year, and it's a couple players change around, whatever. You think they will just change the players just so you could be whatever? No, they charge you so you could update the players. So if a person like a star player got hurt, or if a star player got traded, whatever, they charge you for it. When they're gonna just patch it in and just say whatever because whatever. No, they don't. They charge you for it.
Do you know that there was actually Bethesda? I don't know if this is true, but
All right.
Bethesda. I heard somebody said that Bethesda wanted to charge people for patches.
It was an idea. It was with PlayStation, really, on the PlayStation system, trying to set it up because they want to, because Bethesda's game, majority of Bethesda's game always comes out buggy, and that's the thing about it. Their games come out messed up and buggy. Are their games? Are their games good games? According to everybody, yeah. I can't say nothing about it. I've never played a Bethesda game. It piques my interest, but I've seen people out there enjoy it. So hey, that's good. I know a couple people in my camp that love Bethesda. Fallout 4 enjoyed it. That's cool with me. But I gotta say objectively though, it's buggy, it's glitching, it's falling to the floors, it does it whatever. Come on, man. I can't. No, we got. That's one of the reasons I did not bought Batman Arkham Knights. I was gonna buy it for PC, and then my PC could overpower it and run it without no problem with the graphics card, so it don't crash on me that frequently. But no, I want me a good product from the get go.
Which was a company that practically the PC community had to fix the game with patches because they didn't want to patch the game. I forgot about what company was it.
Oh, Bethesda's one of them.
Bethesda was it.
Yeah, Bethesda's one of them.
There's practically the PC because it is sad the PC community is becoming unpaid beta testers now because
Exactly.
them too lazy to fix their own games. And it is sad of how shoddy practice gets kind of thrown under the rug by this so-called gaming journalism.
Well,
I
again, it's funny. Look at what I did a video podcast where we were talking about the VR. We went to IGN. IGN had plastered all over their channel VR. Come to find out, VR was a failure for this last year's holiday season because they wanted to sell 2.6 million. They only sell 750,000.
Liger. You do know IGN is a fake name. Their true name is SXCS, Sony Cheerleading Squad.
Well, we saw that when I did my LBC with those guys bashing the Switch, and they were stupid for say certain things. I was like, really? Wow.
The IGN does love that Sony cock. They can't live without it.
Well, they're paying them money. Can't argue with that. That's how the business works. They're paying money, but you can't tell. My thing is, one of the main things about life itself, it is attached to gaming, but I don't like when people insult my intelligence. If you're gonna lie, just lie. Don't pretend that you're lying. Just do it and deal with it.
And it actually portrays into real world media because someone with actual intelligence can tell that CNN was bought out by Clinton.
Hey, they could see it, but again, it's just
they worship her like a god, and that can translate into gaming. To only a moron cannot tell the IGN is biased. Is practically bought out by Sony at this point. And but some people loves to point those sites as a legitimate news site for their own arguments, and I like people that point IGN for an argument are just desperate for an argument to begin with.
Well, it's the old saying, but again, I'm a person. I wish my boy Anderson was here. He understands this guy. I talked to this. I have an off-air chat Saturday where we talk about, like you just said right there, a little politics, but we really don't that much. We talk more like life and issues and stuff like that. And one of the old sayings people used to say is, "There's a clock," and anybody who's listening, if you ever use this saying, use it the right way. Because people say, "Oh, a clock is correct at least twice a day." No, a clock is correct twice a day somewhere in the world. Add that piece to it. Because if a clock is wrong in my time, it's never going to be right. If it's an hour fast, it's always going to be an hour fast. Or if it moves quickly every time, it's going to move. It's going to be, unless it's going to take a long time before it becomes right again every day, like the old saying said. So, the ones IGN has done some stuff that's pretty good. Like, again, I used to watch NBC like crazy. Like, every Friday, I download a podcast, I listen to it. But Brian Altano just pissed me off too goddamn much. Like, just couldn't listen to it no more. Like, forget it. He's such a flip-flopping son of a gun. I'm like, dude, you are such a whore.
He flip-flop more than a woman changing panties.
Oh man! I mean,
what I meant to say, he changed opinions more. I got it all jumbled up.
I got you. But yeah, he does that, which is not helping nothing. And you can, again, as many guys, you guys hear me say many times, there's no such thing as unbiased. That word does not exist like unicorn. It doesn't. You are biased. You just need to look at things objectively, because everybody experienced something and they like it or they dislike it.
You know, the saddest thing about it is the guys that like to tout that they're unbiased are the most biased ones.
That's the one. That's a tell sign right there when the person say, "Oh, you come here for views and unbiased reviews." I'm like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be biased as hell."
Hell, Angry Joe fanboys like to defend Angry Joe because he is quote unquote biased.
Oh yeah, so the way he keeps on attacking Nintendo is unbiased.
And you have to be stupid to believe that. It's like, come on, you can see he has a Sony bias. I mean,
yep.
And the same, most of the guys that I know that say they are unbiased are probably the most biased YouTubers I've seen in my lifetime.
But again, I wear my like I said, I am they're biased. Like I said, everybody is. I will be like I said, I am biased. I am biased myself too. But but again, I could tell you, okay, this game is what it is. That's why I said the whole perfect because there's no such thing as a word perfect as well too. But is the Wii U perfect? I've said my qualms about the Wii U, and basically Reggie when he did the interview with when he did the interview with and when he get enough to when he did interview enough to say that he said you know what the two things we did wrong with the Wii U was one we didn't we didn't we didn't have broadcast and advertise the Wii U right, which I said many times that was their biggest mistake. And the second thing was they said they had a constant software. That one I don't blame to Nintendo that much. Now I'll say this though about the Switch.
What about the
I'll say
Switch?
give me a second. No, sorry, I just got incoming text. So I was trying to see what it is. There's the thing about the Switch. The Switch is gonna have basically seeing what just come out. The Switch is gonna have the best first year software library of any gaming console almost in all time now. You have
Yeah,
Nintendo is by the end of the year, by the end of next year March, Nintendo and everything and Xenoblade don't get pushed back too much. I hope they tend to get pushed back to February. That would be the best space to put it. But that's my point. That like you have a Zelda, you have Splatoon, you have you have Hyrule Warriors, you have Mario Odyssey, you have Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
they
All
even
those all those are
they
heavy hitters.
they even announced a new Fire Emblem game that they're working for the Switch.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll be late. That'll be the next year of the two together. Financial year of Nintendo ends in March. So
Yeah,
I'm just talking about the first year for the Nintendo Switch will be the best launch, and that's just Nintendo's top tier, making sure everything's working good. And yes, Fire Emblem Warriors is a second party game. People don't say, "Oh, it's a third party." No, it's not. If Nintendo develop it, put money in, or if a company, I really say Nintendo, if a company put money into funding the whole thing, develop it, or put the IPs on it, and they own the IPs, that's a second party. And Nintendo, that's the Hyrule Warriors was a second party, and Fire Emblem is a second party. So you have basically you have four second party, first party games, a second party game that everybody's asking for, plus all the new IPs with ARMS and Snippet and Switch and everything. No, this is not getting out of the water right now. No gaming library has been that strong in the first year.
but haven't you noticed something about the Switch presentation? Something that has been off to me. Haven't you noticed most third parties that were in the presentation were you can tell you can tell they were being forced in there more than they want. I mean, come on. The EA guy looked like he has been kidnapped and brought there and forced to the presentation. He talk in such a monotone tone, and the
Well,
most
we can't say, we could say the same thing. Remember when to the fifth, not to the fifth one, Hideki Kamiya when he went to the Xbox E3 and he was like, "Ugh, I didn't want to be here."
yeah, I remember that. But I noticed that the third party didn't announce anything groundbreaking or wow in the presentation. Skyrim, which is not like
Well, again, that's why I had to give the I have to I like I said I'm gonna do this video still. I'm still gonna do it even though you guys know half the jokes already, but I'm still gonna try to do the video with Jim Sterling because when he said Nintendo out Nintendo himself, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You're blaming Nintendo. You're blaming Nintendo to be Nintendo. So basically, you tell me you blaming a burglar. You blaming a burglar that you let in your house that steal stuff for being a burglar? Are you that stupid?
as I said, there's like this growing movement that they want to make Nintendo like Sony 2.0. And they get pissed or surprised when Nintendo still does Nintendo-ish stuff when they just want, let's be honest, what most people wanted the Switch to be is just a PlayStation 2 with a PlayStation 4 with Nintendo's name slap into it.
Yep.
And then they get mad when they see that the Switch was everything they didn't want. Let's be honest, half of the NX rumors turn out to be bullshit.
Oh, who didn't see that coming? Everybody, everybody tries to predict what Nintendo's going to do, which is weird. You say you want conditioner controllers, and you think Nintendo. Like that's one of the reasons I said at the beginning. Okay, I said before. A lot of people they calm down on the ports over from the last gen because I see some games that's going to have the same potential. I'm thinking they're going to be a Smash Brothers Deluxe because it's Sakurai is now working on. He's working on a new IP. And it just makes sense to put all that content into one deluxe package and maybe a little bit more if they could find it, and then sell it on the Switch. It'll sell like crazy.
And you know what? The NX rumors are the thing that made me lose respect to a lot of channels. I thought they were actually a good source of getting news. Like Game Explain turning into Rumor Explain at this point.
Uh-huh.
They practically post every fucking bullshit rumor they could find.
Well, remember what Brian Altana says. When Nintendo announces something, and then there's a rumor, and then there's so much holes in what Nintendo just said. I'm like, why would you believe the rumors, you jackass? If you're a reporter, why would you believe the rumors?
No, and you know the sad thing when people get mad when the rumor they wanted to be true ain't. I seen people bitch, whine, and moan over Mother 3 not being announced at the Switch presentation because they were like, it's been like 1 month worth of rumor where people say Mother 3 is going to be localized for the Switch.
Uh-huh.
And people actually believe that crap. And when they didn't see Mother 3, I still see in Facebook Mother 3 fans bitching saying Nintendo betrayed them.
Well,
And be like, it was a fucking rumor.
that's what
God,
that's what it goes with it, man. Everybody's trying to predict to be like they're trying to be the Nostradamus of gaming to say this now. I have to say, most of my predictions have been true, but I told it, I got so many times. It's not because my predictions are true. It's just that one, I've seen stuff behind closed doors that you guys haven't seen. I look back at my history and see this makes sense to do this and that, and I move from there. That's where I look at that, and that's how my stuff has become more predicted more than most people because I have that. It's just the industry talk and knowing what's going on in the industry that make my predictions.
like remember the rumors that the Switch will not have motion controls and touchscreen.
I was the one I was saying they're gonna have it. I said, guys, calm down. Wait until January 12th because I don't think they're gonna lose it. They're gonna have touch screen. I mean, the screen has multi-touch. You don't even have single touch. It has multi-touch.
That rumor not being true, he left some asses hurt.
Yep.
It is funny how stupid and brainless gaming culture and geek culture in general have become. It,
Sad.
it is like I wanted to say something. I've been meaning to be holding out a long time. I said, why are gamers so obsessed with popularity when geek culture was born on being unpopular in the first place?
Yep. Well,
We
again,
are
it's a human nature to try to fit in. We always do. That's why I tell people I'm off at chat when people ask a question. Oh man, we're gonna stop racism. You will never. The day racism stop is the day humans are not on this planet. You're never gonna stop racism because if we're the same if we are the same color, we're gonna differentiate ourselves. We're gonna decipher ourselves from features. Oh, you got a bigger nose than mine. I got a bigger ear than yours. Your hair is black, my hair is white, or my hair is blonde. or if even if all of us were the same color, same features, whatever, we're gonna differentiate ourselves from region. I'm uptown, I'm down south, I'm east coast, I'm west side. Humans
Because
does that.
I notice even in real life that there are some people they even like game ideas, but because it's not popular, they just don't want to give it a try. And it is like when this high school mentality even became a thing. That gaming was a niche hobby at a time. We didn't care about which game was popular. We just played the game we like. And it's something that has been bothering me a long time. Like 3 years. I don't understand where's this need to like I can't play this because it's not popular. I can only get behind a game if it becomes trendy on Facebook. Where did this crap start to begin with? I always wanted to add that question.
No, I just told you it came from the seventh generation. Social gamers. They need to have the egos checked. That's what I told you. Because they got hit with the whole you playing Nintendo and playing gimmick stuff as a bad thing. They started to they try to show how big their dick is and say, hey man, I don't do that, man. I play games too. I got an Xbox. You got people on YouTube who play let's play games that's popular of games they don't really normally play. You don't play first person shooter. I know you don't play first person shooter, but you're playing Call of Duty just because the popular thing right at this second. That's why right now, like I told you, Angry Joe is trying his best to attach his name onto Zelda because he knows. And I can guarantee if you go to that video, he has a Zelda tag in there, like in the tag system where you gotta do tags so you can video get recognized. I bet
Yeah.
you have Zelda in that tag.
Hell, you can see how phony some people, some channels are. I've seen channels that didn't give two shits about Pokemon, and when Pokemon Go came out, they were all jizzing all over that game to do a lot of gameplay footage, even though they hated Pokemon to begin with. But
Yep, yep.
because he was trendy, they damn need the views, like you said,
Oh
and,
well.
and it is something. It's like gamers are becoming fake,
They've been
really
fake.
fake, and it is something with you. It's hard to find, genuine gaming communities where you can actually talk about gaming,
Yep.
and it's something I need to get off of my chest. Like
Go ahead.
I already said my part about that because it's haven't you noticed that most of the most popular gaming channel they don't even know most things that are required to you to know about the games you're playing. I mean, I've seen people shit on a game they suck at, like the game Grumps. Esto Legend of Zelda Wind Waker review. They say Wind Waker were horrible. They were sucking at the game while playing it. And like, how can you shit on a game you had no experience playing?
Yep.
It's stuff like that piss me off. The ignorance. And
Oh well.
haven't you had an experience like that?
Yeah, but like I said, when I go with a nonchalant attitude, like, look, you don't have to buy a Nintendo Switch, people. If you don't like the console, do not buy it. You don't have to buy a Nintendo Switch. You don't have to buy games. You don't have to do that because it's not needed. And like I said, Angry Joe was saying that, oh man, you don't do this to your customers, Nintendo, because we could share the good of the console. Like, we don't need you, Angry Joe. You make a lot of songs. So we don't need you. Word of mouth is just way better than your false ass advertising bullshit.
Haven't you noticed those people giving business advice and they don't know two shits about running an actual business?
Nope. You're right about that. That's the sad part about it. That's why we had a
Most
podcast.
of these people, let's be honest, most of these people are just your average Joe with a webcam.
Yep.
They don't know two halves of how a business operates. Yet they feel some of them even say they can run Nintendo better.
Uh-huh.
And me like the only thing you can run better is running Nintendo into the ground. I mean,
Oh, well.
let's get real. The only people that can actually give actual opinions, people that can actually work in the industry. Did,
Well,
didn't you remember the guy that Sakurai in that E3? The guy that asked Sakurai if he could help with the balancing issue to Smash 4, and Sakurai told him, "Have you ever worked in a video game before?" And he sit down because he couldn't answer.
yeah, I remember that. So look, the original thing, the premise is Gimmicks destroying Nintendo. Technically speaking, yes and no, but mostly no. The reason I say that because a lot of gamers do not have the open mind to go try to play. Oh, Mario Golf! I want to play like it's a golf ball, or I want to switch. Oh man, that'd be cool to figure out the whole tactile feel of the HD and how they did it and all that stuff. That's something that is gonna be a friend thing that we that
That,
is gonna be that. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I think I need to go. So let's wrap this up.
it's all right. Well, I mean, it's cool. It's cool. And normally I used to do questions and stuff, but not tonight too, because I'm tired as well too, and I also got stuff to do. So anyway, guys out there who listen to this is the he basically calls himself the Contrarian Basterd. He's trying to start a YouTube page. So I'm sure this man, you heard what he's got to say and what he's talking about. Show this man love and see if when he get his channel, he got videos up there. Comment, go whatever. Bonnie Takashi, if you're in, he's a fellow. He's a Boricua man, a fellow Puerto Rican. So maybe you guys could do collabs or something or whatever, man.
I wish I could participate in more podcasts with you in the future.
Well, look, you are now that you know how to get on the podcast. If you have the time, I mean, if you have the time, if you don't, that's cool. Cause my schedule is chaotic, and that's what I'm saying. If you have a podcast in the future, and I could join in, I would gladly join in. If it's not if it's if there's time constraints, I can't say nothing or whatever. But the link goes up. I will let you. If you want to join in, let me know. I'll put you in, and then as I said, and it'll be cool to have somebody else to bounce more ideas on because again, I did this channel to talk to people. I didn't do it for money. I didn't do it for no whatever because I have another channel that makes more money than it makes money is make money one and two. I have a company that makes more enough money to me to live my life. So I don't care about this whole crap that people's talking about. I did this here just to have fun, talk about the video games, and enjoy what meet cool people and enjoy what we're talking about because the Switch is around the corner. Everybody's gonna get everybody who gets it gets it. Those who don't like it don't like it, and those who want to wait because I know a couple of people said they're gonna wait and see. Hope you guys can get it later on and they don't sell out like the Wii was when it first came out and everything because I think it's gonna sell about 5 million in the first 2 months worldwide.
Yeah, I see. Believe me, the pre-orders are practically full everywhere. I can't pre-order the Switch. I have to get it without a pre-order practically when it launches. So I can vouch that it's going to sell.
Uh-huh. Well, it's gonna sell because it's more personable, and if you want to do multiple stuff, it's gonna be that. But right now, we just wait to see what happens. So I once again I say you guys, and anybody who's always on the chat, like if you're a cool person and you want to have a chat, a one-on-one, or if you want to debate me on certain things, because people think that a one-on-one is a debate channel, or debate a podcast. Nah, even though I had contests with OJ and everything else, that was just because the arrogance. But I have done one-on-ones where it's just like this, to talk about information, or I promote people's channel, which I did with that. So, guys, whenever you get a chance and you start putting up video, I will gladly promote this stuff, and you will take this video right here and show you how to do it and put it on your channel. So,
I'm really grateful for you for having this one-on-one.
No
So
problem. No problem. And I have no problem doing that with any people like that. So with that said, like I said, you check out the Contrarian Bastard. He's basically what genres and before you go, what games and what genres that you are, so people can know what your channel is a little bit. Give a what games, what genres, and then what you think
I, I'm
about
mo-
games.
I mostly play RPGs, fighting games, action adventure. Those are my most main genres. I'm gonna do let's plays of. And mostly Pokemon related videos, Pokemon and Zelda related videos. And I'm also going to do podcasts about gaming stuff too.
Okay,
So when my channel is ready, I'm planning to do a let's play soon, but I need to get the proper equipment to do it. So I don't promise it will be soon or later. But I plan to kickstart this channel soon.
no problem, man. Well, it's cool to have you on here, and hope everything goes right to start your channel. And I told many people out there, I already told them off this air what kind of stuff not to do on this channel because you try the best to avoid as much drama as you can. Now, again, I take on drama to a little degree because I have tougher skin, but again, everybody knows how I debate people and how I also hit people with facts, whatever. And if I made a mistake, I have no problem saying I made a mistake. So unlike other YouTubers, I don't have arrogance with my stuff. But like I said, I hope that when you get your channel up, let us know, and we'll send you stuff over here. And if you want to join the podcast, again, like I said, and you got a time, just if you see it live, whatever, just tell me, hey, they like, or send me a link, and I'll basically send you a link, and you join it like you join it right now. Okay.
Yeah,
All right, my brother. Well, you take care, man. You have a good night, and you guys know the usual stuff. There's no perfect game out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply play those games on any console, enjoy them, even on PC. Y'all have a good night.
good night.